Hey, Wise Wellness, Wise Ones. It's Melody. Today's Tuesday. Wow. Let's see if we can fix. Ooh, too much light. Hold on. I don't want to scare you guys away. I'm having a very low-key day here at home, doing some back-end work on the computer and helping my daughter with homeschool stuff and all the things that we crazy ladies do. And so I was reminded that I need to be supporting my adrenal glands. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What are adrenal glands, why they're so important, and a really easy way to support them that could be a really nice treat for you once a week. So adrenal glands are actually they're little glands that sit above your kidneys, okay? And if you Google adrenal glands, you will see there'll be lots of different pictures and diagrams that'll show up that will show you exactly where they are. But if you know where your kidneys are, it's right above that, in that area, okay? Because I'm going to be telling you to apply some oils there. It doesn't have to be the exact area as long as you are close to that area. Adrenal glands have a lot to do with hormone balance. So your adrenal glands work with your thyroid. They're like best buddies. And when one of them isn't functioning properly, it affects the other, which causes hormone imbalance. It can cause weight gain. It can cause brain fog, exhaustion. Anybody have any of those? It can cause you to just feel very fatigued, inflamed, lots of stuff, because our bodies are so, everything works together. God has designed us in such a special way that things just all work together. And so when something is out of whack, it can throw a lot of things out of whack. So your adrenal glands are very important in stressful situations. So they regulate your fight or flight. Okay, when we come into situations, there's a fight or flight response we have. Actually, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And your adrenal glands help your body to make a decision of how dangerous is this situation and how do we proceed in dealing with the situation. If you have a lot of stress in your life, or stressful events, if you have a death in the family or close friend, if you move, if you switch jobs, those are some of the main stressors that people go through. Sickness and illness, financial distress, if you just don't handle your stress well. Your adrenal glands are what's responsible for helping you to control all of that. So if you're going through a stressful time, your adrenal glands are going to work more. And oftentimes they can get burnt out. And so that causes adrenal fatigue. And there are different stages of adrenal fatigue. You can look that up. Stage 1, you just start having some of the symptoms. Stage 3, it's very hard to even function. So I have recently figured out, probably about a year ago, that I had some adrenal fatigue. And hey, Kristen, how are you, girl? I had some adrenal fatigue, and because I looked at the symptoms and I thought, that's me, and check, and I got that. And you know how you go to Dr. Google, then you think you have cancer and you're dying. You know what I'm saying? It happens. So, but I really did go in and do some research, like deep research, and research with some Young Living people who are professionals. Dr. Jim Bob is one I always recommend if you have any hormone issues going on or adrenal fatigue or any of that kind of stuff. He's amazing to follow, Jim Bob Hagerton. He's a chiropractor and he specializes in that. So I went all in on the Jim Bob videos, took a lot of notes, and figured out that I really did have adrenal fatigue. And so there are different ways to deal with that. One way, obviously, is you've got to watch what you eat. There are certain foods that are really good that make your adrenal glands happy. And there are other foods like sugar, certain processed foods that make your adrenal glands worse. Like it fatigues them more. It's not nourishing to them. It doesn't help them in any way. It depletes them, takes away from them. So obviously you've got to do that, and you've got to learn to manage your stress. And I used to get really frustrated when people would say, oh, well, you need to get better at stress management. It's like, if I could, I would. There are things you can do, obviously, to help with stress levels. You know, you can't always remove what's stressing you out. You know, if you've had a death in the family, if you are, you know, if you're like me, I had a lot of things going on in my body. Sometimes you can't always remove that right away. So you have to learn to deal with your stress. And I have found different ways, you know, like one is getting outside, putting my feet in the dirt, taking a deep breath, right? Getting some sunshine. I journal. That's highly recommended for you to write your feelings out, even if nobody ever sees it. And hey, Donna, yeah, especially if you don't know what it is. Really good point, Kristen. Oh, yeah. So I realized that, you know, I need to learn to say no to things, and I need to, you know, not overschedule myself. I'm a goal-oriented person. And so I like to write down my goals, and I will push myself. Well, when you write down too many goals, like I wanted to do 10 things every day when I can do 3, right? 3 and do them well. So there are, you know, you need to manage your stress. You need to watch what you're eating. But here comes our toolkit, our oily toolkit into play. So essential oils can also help with your adrenal glands when they are fatigued, or when they're just, you know, when you are feeling the symptoms that I talked about, when you're feeling, you know, kind of and tired, and like not just tired, but fatigued, and your emotions are kind of out of whack and all over the place, which this could be lots of things, right? But for me, I looked at what I was involved with adrenal fatigue, and I just was like, oh, well, I've got to see what Young Living has. What can I use to support my adrenal glands? And I'm working on supporting my hormones. That'll be another broadcast, but have been working with that too. So one of the best ways I have found to support my adrenal glands is to do an adrenal compress. This, funny enough, is also very de-stressing for me, because it requires that you sit for about 45 minutes. Actually, you don't have to, but the way I do it, I give myself 45 minutes. So I'm going to tell you 3 oils and how to drive them in, you know, so that they go into those adrenal glands and support and nourish them. Because remember, our oils are tools to help us get above the wellness line. We can support our body our bodies are designed to work, right? We are perfectly created. It's just that we do things like eat bad food, we don't exercise, we don't get outside, we get overworked and overstressed, and then we start messing junk up, basically. Like that's the best way to say it. And so we got to work to get our bodies back to where they should be, because your body wants to function properly. That's why if you see somebody that's a lot of times if somebody's in the hospital and they have a ventilator on, they'll fight the ventilator because your body wants to do what it's supposed to do. And it's trying to fight to do what it's supposed to do, even if it can't. So the adrenal glands need a little love every once in a while. This is something so super and easy. Now, these oils do not come in the starter kit, but I would recommend them to be on your list to get. Maybe on your first order, or if you're like us, all of us in here, we will all say we have a wish list of products that we still want to try. You'll never run out of products to try. You just have to decide what you want to look at supporting first. And for me, I knew I needed to do something. So this is a compress. This is something that when I do it, I feel like more awake. I have more energy. It usually will last me about a week, and then I do another one. So I have done 2 a week before, and I just feel better overall when I do it. I feel the best right after it's done, and like the next day. and then it kind of slowly will start to fade, and by the end of the week I'm like, okay, I need to do it again. So what I do is I layer 3 oils. The first oil I'm going to tell you about is rosemary. I hope you can see that. Here's what I do, and I'll tell you an option for you. Now, I have 3 oils that I have my husband, I lay down, and I have him drop the oils onto my back and spread them around, onto my adrenal glands, spread them around, right? And then I will take a hot compress, so a warm rag, the water as hot as you can get it, wring it out, put it on your back where you apply these, and then put a dry towel over top of it to trap the heat in. And what happens is the heat, not a lot, it's not too much heat, but the warmth will drive the oils in deeper, quicker. So you're gonna get, a response quicker than if you don't do it this way. However, if you have a significant other that just won't do this for you, or you don't have a boo right now that can do it for you, maybe you can bribe your kids into doing it. I'm not sure. You'll have to be careful because one oil gets pretty hot. So you may need to apply carrier oil if this heats up too much for you. I'm a girl, I don't use carrier oil on very many things. So what I do is, and my suggestion is, if you can't have somebody drop them on you, if you're like, I don't have anybody do that, so I can't do it. No, you take a roller bottle, just like we've shown in here many times. You can get them at Amazon. You get a little roller bottle, just like Megan showed yesterday in her broadcast, and you put these oils in there and a little bit of carrier oil, and you just roll it on your adrenal glands yourself. Take a heating pad that has one of the wet cloths that you can put in the heating pad and put it on your back. But it needs to stay there for 45 minutes. Let those oils drive in, and you're gonna relax. You can fall asleep, you can read a book, you can scroll Facebook, whatever makes you happy. But take that 45 minutes for yourself, because I'll bet some of you don't ever even take 45 minutes for yourself. I used to not either. So the first oil I put on is rosemary. Okay, very beautifully scented. Just smells like outside. Okay, rosemary. Pine oils are good for the whole body. Then I take nutmeg, which my husband can't stand the smell of. Your body loves nutmeg. Okay, lots of different parts. Your thyroid likes nutmeg, your hormones like nutmeg, and your adrenal glands like to be supported by nutmeg. Okay, and I put 2 drops of each on. Okay, sometimes 3. Rub it all around. 3 drops of the nutmeg. Rub it all around. This oil gets hot. This is clove. Okay, I'm just going to warn you. I do 3 drops of the clove, and it can get very, because it's spicy. It can get very, very warm. So my suggestion is try it without a carrier oil, but if it gets hot, slather some coconut oil on there. Okay, it'll cool it off like almost immediately. So yeah, nutmeg is really good. Like our Thyromin has nutmeg in it. Not Thyromin, I'm sorry. Our Super B has nutmeg in it. So my husband hates the smell of the stuff, but I don't care because it helps me. He just puts on gloves and applies it to me so that he doesn't have to smell it. It doesn't matter if it smells good, it matters if it works. And so I take those 3, again, I just layer them on, right? Then I immediately have him apply the warm compress, and I keep it, you can switch it out if you want to keep, putting warm compresses on there for the 45 minutes. Heating pads aren't really great to use, I understand, but sometimes for convenience sake, I use them. Not gonna lie, 80-20 rule. And then you just sit and let those drive in, and you should notice a really big difference in how you feel. So, and if you can't do that, make a roller bottle, slather it on. It's still going to help you. It's still going to support. I do recommend you put it right where the adrenal glands are so that it gets right to those organs immediately. Of course, you can put it on your feet. If it is way too hot and you just can't stand it, put it on your feet, because it's going to make your body happy if you're having adrenal gland issues. So, if you have any questions, let me scroll up and see. need to exercise. Me too. And that's a good point, Kristen, that you bring up. Part of adrenal fatigue, this is the point I got to in March, and I quit exercising up until just recently, because when you have adrenal fatigue, when you exercise, you feel worse. So if you're working out, and not like exercise fatigue, but if you're working out and you're like, I can't do anything else today because I worked out and I'm exhausted, then that's your body's, because when we work out, our adrenal glands work. They're pushing you to work out, to go harder, to push yourself. They also regulate cortisol. So if you're holding on to weight, or if you have trouble sleeping at night, that's usually because your adrenal glands are kicking in. That's what happens with me. When you have adrenal fatigue, your adrenal glands should be calming down at night, but when your body and your system is off, they'll give you like a little spurt about 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I'm like a crazy person at 10 o'clock at night. I can be tired all day long. 10 o'clock at night comes and I'm a maniac. I'm running around the house singing and dancing and, cleaning and being goofy and doing whatever I need to do. Not good, because then I'm up till like 2 a.m. because I'm all wound up. So you got to work with also getting on a good schedule for waking up and sleeping, getting vitamin D, all that kind of stuff too. But that's another symptom. If you're working out and you just feel completely exhausted, they recommend, and that's what I did, take a break for a while from working out and, nourish your adrenal glands through nutrition and through, I say, using oils too, and getting proper rest, making your bedtime more of a priority, that kind of stuff. I had to do that from March until now. And I'm starting very slowly back by just walking, a little bit of stretching and yoga. And I'm not going to push my body really hard until I know that it's ready for it, because I don't want to make my adrenal glands worse. And it takes some time to recover from adrenal fatigue. So if you support them like you should all along, you avoid the fatigue part. But sometimes life just comes at you sometimes, right? Something unexpected happens and boom, your stress levels are up. So you want to be supporting them through that time as well. This is something I do all the time now. Whether my adrenals are going to be fatigued or not, I know it makes them happy, so I pay more attention to them now. You know how that is. Sometimes we ignore stuff until it's like an issue, and then you're like, oh, probably should have been taking care of that. So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you all. If you have any questions, post them below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Let me know if you try this. Put this on your wish list, because these are oils that are good to have for lots of different things, but this is really great to do. Take 45 minutes for yourself, making an excuse. Oh, honey, got to do my adrenal compress. You're going to have to take care of the kids for 45 minutes. Bye. That kind of thing. All right. I hope you guys have an amazing afternoon. I'll see you later. Bye.